I need the watch somewhere to see the timing.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll put it here. That small clock is. I'll bring it for us. You can start. One more stool or something next to you.
No, this is sufficient.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to resume the recording and then we'll start the session.
Give a welcome talk.
Yeah. Is it okay? So welcome to everybody to make this morning very interesting and then useful to us. And then definitely welcome Swami for coming all the way from Chicago to here to conduct this one. My name is Mohan Kumar. I'm the convener for this Vedanta Study Circle of Minnesota, who don't know. And this study has been going on for more than 5-6 years now. So we meet twice a month, and then this is once a retreat. Once a year, Swami conducts a retreat for us. And last year we did it through Zoom, but this time Swami was glad to come here all the way for us. So definitely thanks for that, Swami. The topic for the discussion today is going to be about the mind. Because we, after undergoing all this more than 1 year, so much stress on, especially on mind part, this is a very happy title Swami chose for us, which is going to be very helpful. Swami is a minister in charge for the Chicago Vedanta Center, which is who have been not gone there. So if anybody gone to the Lemon Temple, is on the same road. You have to go further south. The end of the road on the right hand side, left hand side corner. It's a huge facility. If you have not gone, please take some time and then spend some time. They have the residential options are also available, so you can write to them and go. So Swami came to that center to charge about in 2013. Then I was with Swami at the time, so that's how I came to know the Swami. So within 6-7 months, I can give you one event, then you can imagine the dynamics of the Swami. Within 6-8 months, the Chicago calling event, which is like the Swami Vivekananda's 150th birth anniversary celebration. Chicago is always unique in Swami's life. And he came for the first time to US in 6 months as a massive event. Whoever was there can imagine that Hilton Hotel with about 200-250 people, he was able to host the event continuously for 3 days. Just imagine. And my first monks conference outside India, it was hosted during that year. So glorious things within 6 months. When Swami was proposing these things, Swami was still thinking like India, Swami, this is not the way, but the dynamism, and then he was able to execute that part. Then we are actually stunned with the way it went on. So this is one event, but there are so many things that have happened there afterwards. So definitely thanks Swami for coming all the way for us, and we definitely look forward to this event. And then please carry this.
Thank you. Thank you, Mohanji, and thank all of you. This is really a wonderful experience, as if after a long that you are bound somewhere, can't meet people, can't talk and can't go, and all the time covering your face as if to hide. So it is all going on, and still it is continuing, but we have overcome that. That is the humanity. That is the human society. Constantly, they're making the progress. So many challenges after challenges came, but we could all the time we could overcome that. Think of the days when the dinosaurs were there. How the very tiny little the creature, the human being, comparing with all others. So they survived, others could not. The different type of the philosophers, different way they explain survival of the fittest and those who could adjust, etc., etc. But the main thing is God has given us a wonderful gift. We are not that strong as the rhino or the elephant or the tigers, but we are intelligent because our intellect has been given by God. It has been given to everyone, but the maximum weight has given to the human. So they can understand, they can judge, they can take some decision, which is difficult for other beings. To each and everything created by God, but this is, and of this, the most important thing is the mind. Suppose we are having everything, but the mind is not properly working, then what will happen? There's sometimes some people, they suffer and they go on thinking in different way that we call them mad, we call them crazy. So this is the way the whole human form is there. But unfortunately, only that capacity, because of that, decisive capacity is less and couldn't take properly the suffering. So mind is very, very important. Friends, we are thinking that we should talk about that, and it's called the purification of the mind. Mind is there. Mind can think, mind can judge, mind can accept. But what is the purification? This is very, very important subject. Almost everywhere in Bhagavad Gita, in the Upanishad, and Shankaracharya in his explanation, everywhere they are giving the stress that you should purify your mind. Now, for whom purification is necessary? Only for those who have understood that this life, the worldly thing that we see, we go through, we experience, are very, very temporary. But we are thinking that this can give us permanent joy. That is the problem. If we think that it's a temporary joy that we are going to enjoy, that's okay. Then sometimes we go to visit some place as a tourist, and we know this is for temporary. There is no problem for us. And when we are there, suddenly there is some the problem, maybe the water supply, maybe the electricity. We know the next tomorrow we are going away. It's okay for us. We are not that way affected by that. Why? Temporary. We know that. If one can understand this world, this life is purely temporary and can behave accordingly, then there is no problem. But when we think that this world is permanent and we are going to be here permanently, though all around us things are changing so fast. When we first came over here to Mohanji's house, all these buildings were not there. It was all open, that was not. Then after suddenly all this building have come, all occupied, the neighborhood is going on. So things are changing, but the peculiarity is, in that change, we are thinking that it is permanent. This is the problem. So when you understand this, that everything is constantly changing, this is not permanent, then we go for the permanent. Something must be there. What is that? So this is the whole. All the scriptures, all the religion, all the practices is nothing but to understand this difference and to go for the permanent one. What is that permanent one? Then they will say it is God, it is Brahman, it is Jehovah, it is Buddha, and different names they say. But they only indicate something which is permanent, eternal, there. So we will begin with a beautiful verse that our Chandrasekhar Bharati, the Sringari Mat Jagat Shankaracharya, he composed. It's a big poem, but I'm taking only one verse. Samsara Sagara Nimagna Janudvi Dhishu Yo avataras chiva nrishimha guru chalena jaddandhakara haranam Karuna Samudram Tam Dakshinasham Anisham Ridhi Bhavayami. I meditate on Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti is the Guru. The Guru form, that is the Lord Shiva. That is the Dakshinamurti. The ocean of mercy, and who destroyed the deepest darkness of avidya. Deepest darkness of avidya. What does it mean? That we will discuss, because this much, if we can understand, that will be all right. And who, to save humanity, caught up in the ocean of worldliness, descended down in the form of Shiva Narasimha Guru. Why the God has taken the form? This line, descended down in the form of Shiva, those who are caught up in the ocean of worldliness. If they are not understanding that this world is temporary, and they are thinking this suffering is all right for us, and they're trying to get the enjoyment out of this, for them it is nothing. We are not talking about that. Scripture is not that for them. And some of the people, they are so happy. They are in the dungeon, in the dirty, but they will be just drinking something or taking some narcotics, and they're very happy over there. If you offer them as a better life, they don't like to come. So it is not for them. It is only for the mumukshus. So for whom the spirituality? For the mumukshu. Who are the mumukshu? Those who have understood the folly, the temporariness of this world, and now thinking to get something permanent. That is called mumukshu. Mukti icha mumukshuta. And mukti from where? Freedom from where? From the bondage. And what is the bondage? This misunderstanding is the bondage. So this way, if we can understand. Now here, the purification of the mind. The spiritual scientist, whom we usually call as the Rishi and Muni, they analyzed and they found we have three bodies. Though we know that we have only one body, but they say, no, you are having three bodies. What are the three bodies? First is the gross body that we can touch, we can feel, we can understand. Inside that, there's a subtle body, and there's a causal body, cause for which this body is taking form. So this is the specialty of the Hinduism. And they always analyze to understand. So three bodies. And this causal body is also a body, though it is a cause, very subtle. Even subtlest thing of this, of all this. But still it is a body so temporary it is going to be destroyed. We'll have to go beyond that. Friends, here, before we go deeper into this subject, so if we notice any philosophy, any spirituality, any religion that is influenced by the economy and the social condition, if we see that our three religions almost in the same place they grew up, that is Judaism, then Christianity and Islam, their ultimate goal is Swarg, heaven, behest, like that. Why? Because their economy was very bad. They wanted to get something to enjoy. So obviously, they could ultimately think of some place where everything is abundantly there and they can enjoy the whole life. So the Swarga or the heaven is their ultimate. But in the India and Indian Peninsula, if we see the Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, Taoism, all these, they're all the time talking about mukti. They're not talking about the Swarga or the heaven. Heaven is a place we can go better than this place. It's okay. But that is not the ultimate thing. The ultimate thing is the mukti. So we have to go beyond. Why? Economy was very good. Social condition was very perfect. So they knew what to enjoy. We have enjoyed everything all right. We don't need all this. What more? Everything is good. So we need to go somewhere where there will be no trouble. And we need not to come back again. Permanent joy, happiness. So that was the goal. So the mukti, that word has come generated only in that India. But in the Abrahamic religion, there is no concept of mukti. There's a concept of heaven. If we can go to God, oh, so beautiful, so nice, everything. So that much. So this is the difference. We are talking about the mukti, not the heaven. Heaven, for us, anyone can achieve. If you do something good, then you will surely go to heaven. Because as a karma, you are achieving something. Suppose you are studying well, obviously in the society, you will get some respect. If you are doing something, a result will come. By that way, we can say, if we are practicing the austerity and helping others, not telling lies, etc., all the moralities that we are following, we will go to heaven. And if you do it much better way, you will become a god. Maybe the sun god or the fire god or the air god, that also. But even then, up to the Brahma, the creator, is temporary. Up to the Brahma, though it is a long, long period of time. They say, I've forgotten exact number, 470, then 0000000. That period is 1 day for Brahma, only 1 day. And then it will be night also. So 24 hours means 470000000 double. That is the day, 24 hours of Brahma, of our time. The like that 100 years, the Brahma is going to survive. So for us, it's a long period of time. Okay, let us become a Brahma. That we could become. But even then, our scripture says that is also temporary. After that, again, you have to come down into that great Brahma may become a human being. We do not know. And cooking over here, we don't know. So maybe same Brahma, they will come down because of the karma. That is over, you have to come down. So this much. So the Hindus, they always say, go beyond the duality. But then you are merging with that. So here it says, now in the Shukshma Sharira, 3 bodies are there. The gross body we all know, and the Shukshma Sharira, the subtle body, their mind is there. And the subtle body, they say, is the 8 cities. And what are the 8 cities? That one is the organ of action, or organ of knowledge, the prana, then element, the 5 great elements, earth, etc. Then antakarana. These antakarana is the 4 parts are there. Antakarana, they say mind, but we say antakarana. In the antakarana, mana, buddhi, chitta, and ahamkara, the 4 are there. And of course, ajnana, then kama, the desire, and the karma, their action. The total, this 8 they say. In that antakarana, we will go to that antakarana, and in the antakarana, mana, buddhi, chitta, and ahamkara. What is mind? The mana they say mind, but the mana means that part of the antakarana which cannot take the decision. Only constantly thinking, oh, shall I accept this or shall I not? That is the condition of the mind called mana in Sanskrit. And come buddhi. Buddhi is decisive faculty. And the decisive faculty says, I am going to do this. That's why in the society you will find people will say, he's a very intelligent person. Why? He has the capacity to take decision. Those who are constantly thinking, what to do and what not to do, people don't give them much importance. But those who can say, I'm going to do this should be done, they are. One of a person was there at the Swamiji. So he will be telling, okay, this may be done, or this may not be done. But tell me that what should we do? Maybe and may not be, both are there. Then what should we do? What do you want? I may go, I may not go. That is my decision. What is this decision? So there's a fun for us. So I may go, this is one. I may not go. It is also, then that's why when he used to ask someone in the office to purchase a ticket for his rail ticket, then train ticket, and he would say, hey, I am going to on Wednesday, I'll be okay, Swami. Then next moment he will come after half an hour or 1 hour. So I am thinking I will change. Okay, Swami, no problem. So he will go on telling like that. Then ultimately, have you purchased a ticket? No, when you say that I'm going with the bag and baggage, at that time I will purchase. So like that decisive faculty. He was a very nice person. But this I'm going to do, whether good or bad, doesn't matter. I'm going to do it. Buddhi. Now from Buddhi we will start. Our discussion is with the Buddhi. Why Buddhi is so important? Now other two parts, the Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, and Ahamkara. Chitta means the storehouse. Nothing to do. Whatever we are thinking, we are doing, all that is there. And Ahamkara is the active force that is all going on. Now, this Buddhi is so important because the reflection of the consciousness is falling on that. Look at it. Reflection, it is not real. Only reflection of the consciousness is falling on Buddhi. And because of that, it is so important. Now, if we can truly go to that consciousness, which is real, we can imagine what greatness is there. If the Buddhi and the sharpness of intellect, they can understand it. Suppose some of the scientists who are sending the people from here to the Mars and all that, sitting over here on Earth, they can say the pulse are going up and going down, and this problem, that problem, sitting over here. So can you imagine the intellect so high? But even then, that binds us. Why? Because we make the mistake. What is the mistake? We think this world is permanent. So this is now here the Buddhi, what the Buddhi is doing, it says, Vivek Chudamani, I will quote, the root of this bondage and suffering. Acharya Shankara, he is mentioning, Anta Karanam Eteshu Chakshuradishu Barmani Aham iti abhimanena tishtati abhasa tejasa. Eteshu means this. Mind, antakaranam. Antakaranam is a different, but here the translation is mind, because we are dealing with the mind. And if the English mind and the antakarana and the buddhi, so we know it is mentioning that particular part of the mind which is taking the decision. So the buddhi, or the inner organ which is in this body, in the Brahmani, feels I. Aham iti abhimanena, become ego. Why? Because of the reflection of the Atman. Now, when we say I, we actually mention that Atman, that Brahman. But where is the mistake? We always attach that with this present body. Now, sometimes as we are growing older, so one day I was wondering, I told in some of my talks, that suppose someone shows a picture, that a small little baby lying on the lap of the lady, and say, hey, this is your picture. You don't know. Your childhood, the baby day, you don't know how you looked. Do you remember? No. Somebody will say, this is you. And we can recognize, oh, this is my mother. Yes, I can. And this baby lying on the lap of the mother, this is me. So I don't know my body at the beginning. Only maybe after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, then slowly, slowly, I will know this is my body. So I was not knowing my beginning of the body. And how can I say this is me? How can I all the time proudly say this is me, associating this body which I was not knowing at all? So this, if we understand, we were not knowing which is the beginning of this body. How can we say that this is me? And the mind, what we used to think in the beginning of our life, we don't know now. It changes so much. Then how can we say that this is mine? You only remember after 5, 6 years, say a few, 1 or 2 things. Then when you grow to the teenage, then only it starts keeping the record. So if we judge in this way, the body we cannot recognize whether it is me or not. And how can I boast that this is me? Mind, so much of changes. How can you say, but I is there? I. The Shankaracharya is telling that this I, which is constantly there, why it is I associated? Because it is a reflection of the consciousness. Now, as an example, the sun is reflecting on the wall. Sun is reflecting on the wood. Sun is reflecting on the glass also of the building. But this is glaring. This, when the sunlight is falling on a glass, then it is reflecting. If the glass is a mirror, there is too much of glaring, that reflection. But the same sun is reflecting on the wall, but people don't see that. Although we can see the wall, but not much of reflection. So this is the way, if we judge, the consciousness is reflecting on us, but the gross body cannot take. Among the subtle body, there are so many parts are there, they cannot take. Only mind can take. That is why mind is so important. That's why the intellect is so important. And this importance is coming only because of the reflection. That this is the beauty, again, I would say, of the rishis, how nicely they have analyzed. The Shankaracharya is mentioning like this way, the reflection of the consciousness gets associated with the body and start bearing fruits. If not, then it is mukti. So what is the difference between Shankaracharya or the Buddha and us? They are not associated with the body. We are associated with the body. That much and nothing else. So these only, what is the religion? Religion means only understanding this much. It says, then comes, so what is purity? This purity is Atman. Now, what is the purity again? Anything that has been created and obviously going to be destroyed is impure. According to this terminology they have used, purity and impurity, that only that much. The permanent and impermanent. Anything impermanent, they say impure. Ajnana or impurity. Anything permanent is pure. Now, taking on this definition, what is the permanent and what is the impermanent thing? Whatever we see has been created is impermanent, including the sun. Sri Ramachandra saw the sun. Vashishta Muni saw the sun. Krishna saw the sun. And we are also seeing the same sun. Now, still that sun is also temporary. Isn't it? It may be that for a long period of time it is there, but still it is temporary. And this is the cause of our bondage, because we can't take that much. Oh, this sun is permanent. It is not permanent. The scientists also, they know It is going to be destroyed someday. What is purity? Anything that is permanent. And what is permanent? Atman. I'm using the word Atman because we are approaching to the subject from the point of view of the Vedanta. So Vedanta says Atman. Other people will say the God or Allah, the Jehovah, something like that. But let us take it as Atman. The Atman is pure. What is the purity? Atman. Impurity, anything that is not Atman. So this is just like mathematics, simple. The permanent is Atman, and that is pure. The pure, the term that we are using, only because of the terminology has been used over here. And impure, anything that is not Atman, then here the impurity, the considering the reflection of the Atman. Now, what is the purification of the mind? Mana Shuddha Karana, Mana Shodhana, all these words they have used. And they're giving much importance on that. You must be a pure mind, then only you could. Sometimes they used to say, with a pure mind only you can go and touch the feet of the God, etc., etc. The pure and impure. So, what is that purity actually? Just bathing in the Ganga or in the Jordan and wearing a new cloth and fasting, is that purity? Whole body is so impure, so filthy things are there. Whether you bathe and wear a new cloth, that doesn't matter at all. The same Shankaracharya, you know that story. Then Shankaracharya was very proud of his purity. This Shankaracharya, even after there's so much of knowledge, see how things happen. And he himself has recorded, it is in his life. Then he was traveling he was going to bathe in the Ganga, or maybe after bathing, he was coming back. He found that a filthy person with all the dogs, as a low caste, low born, he's coming. He said, hey, go away. So he said, whom you are asking to go away? This body, my body is full of filth and your body is also full of filth. Maybe that you have just bathed in the Ganga. It doesn't matter at all. Now, these dogs, they're the same body, same way. Whom you are asking to go away? Atman, my Atman is pure, your Atman is pure. Whom you are asking to go away? Why you are thinking that touching me you will become impure? Which part of it? If it is Atman, both of us are pure. If it is body, both of us are impure. Shankara immediately started praying that man, and he was Shiva himself, only to remove that ignorance from the mind of the Shankara. Shankara was pure, but at the same time, sometimes it comes. Those who are practicing spirituality, a time comes when they, hey, don't touch me. I cannot eat from your hand. We have to cook for ourselves. They go on telling like that. In the beginning, it is okay. Sri Ramakrishna also said, no, I am going to cook for myself. That is okay. But if it is the last whole life he was saying like that, that means you remained in the grade 1 and all through your life. You couldn't graduated even from the school. So this is the understanding. The body, all bodies are the same, because anything which is not Atman is impure. So what is the Shodhana? Understanding this delusion and very carefully separating the real self from the non-self. Now, here it says, again, Shankaracharya, he says, Tat mana shodhanam karyam priyatnena mumukshuna vishuddhe sati cha etasmin mukti karafalayate. What is our goal? Mukti, not heaven. Goal is mukti. And how to realize the mukti? He said, only if you can purify your mind, then mukti will be as if you're having a fruit on your palm. Anytime you can eat. It's so easy. Mukti karafalayate. Phala means the fruit. And it is on your palm. You can eat it anytime. How? Just purifying the mind. Tat manasodhanam karyam. He is beginning with the tat. What is that tat? Why he started with the tat. That means you have understood all this, as we have already discussed. So that is why tat. Sanskrit is very interesting. They will never use any single letter unnecessarily. The tat means referring to others. It all discussion has already been done. Don't ask him, why sad? That is not like that. It has already been completed. You know. So as we have already discussed, now we are beginning with the Shankaracharya tat. Mana shodhanam karyam. Why mana? Why not body? Why not this? Why not that? So mana shodhanam karyam. Mana is because that reflection is giving us the impression I. I means ahamkara. And the moment I say I, that means you, there's a difference. The moment there is duality, there is conflict. And when there is conflict, there is destruction. And that which can be destroyed is not permanent. See how it goes. So that means there cannot be two. There must be one. And so everything that I see is mine. Sometimes one Swamiji, Bhuteshanandaji Maharaj used to say, Maharaj, you see, that is there. So that, sometimes you see, whatever I see belongs to me only. Who else is there? Atman is there. So don't show me this and that and that. Everything belongs to me. Everything that I see, I am the monarch of all. And that is the sadhana. You know that in the Upanishad and our scriptures say, all the time you go on telling yourself, suggesting yourself, everything that you see belongs to me only. There is no two. There is only one, and that is me. And this me is not the body, but the Atman. When in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is telling, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam bhaja. Aham tvam sarva papibhya makshayishyami. And a group of people immediately, they feel it is only Krishna and no other God. And that is the problem. That when you translate, when you understand wrongly, this is the problem. Sarva dharman parityajya means all the responsibilities that has been given unto you, forget that. Only if you can give your mind to me, then I will take care of it. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, can you cry like a baby? When the baby will not go for the food or the game or the dolls, only mother, mother, mother. Then the mother will come. It's just like that. Sarva dharman parityajya. Give up all the responsibilities and come to me. So if we don't understand the real meaning, that creates the problem. That manasodhana karyam mumukshuna, and not for all. Religion is not for all actually. Morality is for all. The morality, you should not tell lies. That's why in the beginning of the Upanishad, they say, Satyam vada, dharmam chara, etc., etc. The what's called the Acharya is your God, etc. This is only the beginning. Who are those students only? They are coming to learn. After that, they will never say anything like that. So when we read Upanishads, when we reach to that our Veda, you are already ready to understand that. Otherwise, suppose you go and admit yourself as a student of medicine and you don't know anything, no basic is there. How will you understand that? When the professors are coming and giving the talk or the physics, the top professor will come and start like this. He will, sir, what is this? Sir, what is that? And you don't know ABCD of anything. How can you start that? The Hinduism means when we are starting over here in the Upanishad, Veda, that means they take it for granted, all the moralities, all the practices, all the control of the senses already done, practiced. And then only you are starting. Sometimes the Vedantic talk, when they give of our Swamis, That creates problem because the people are not having the basic. They, they start from there itself. Immediately they will say, oh, I am Brahman and I don't care anybody. It is not the caring. You have to become very humble. I am Brahman means it's not that I don't care. The basic is not there. I don't care the moment they say, that means ego is there. Now, when the ego is there, you are not fit to start the Vedanta. So one should be very careful. So when that, the Shankaracharya is telling mumukshuna, those are mumukshus, they are ready, they understand all this. For them it is. What that? Manashodhana karyam. Otherwise, if you are enjoying, let them enjoy. And this is very, very practical. I'm sorry to say, not the Lord Buddha or the Jaina, that sometimes the application is wrong. Some people, they start from for everything. Buddha said, ahimsa paramadharma. Ahimsa for whom? Those who have understood it. But if you are imposing that on each and every one, what will happen? Diabetic people should not take sweets. But if you start, no confectionery shop should be there, nothing, all salt, the sugar, everything should be closed because of diabetes. That is peculiar, isn't it? Suppose the king, he says, no, in my country there should not be any sweet, only sour, because diabetes. All people are not suffering in diabetes. So for them only, those who are suffering in diabetic, for them maybe it is okay. Ahimsa, for whom? Who has reached to that height? Otherwise, the ordinary people, how they will understand ahimsa? So all peculiar. That they started telling, if you kill the deer or goat, I can eat the meat, but the killing, the sin will go to you. You'll eat the meat. See the hypocrisy? And Swami Vivekananda told the story. Then they caught a thief. And the young people, they were beating the thief and he was crying. Then the elderly person, he came up and told the owner of the house and said, hey, don't beat him. We are all the ahimsa. We are all practicing ahimsa. Don't beat him. Put him in a bag and tie the bag and throw him in the water. Then if he can survive, let him survive or die. Then the thief told, sir, you are so kind. You need not to do that. Rather, beating is all right. So peculiar type of expression comes because of not understanding. Religion is nothing but pure understanding. That's all. And nothing else. Here he says, mumukshuna visuddhe saticha etasmin. The moment you purify your mind, then mukti is so easy for you. Now come, what is mind? So we know that we are understanding religion, and in this religion, it is all with me, and this me means the mind, and mind is that part which is getting the reflection of the pure Atman, and that by mistake I am thinking it is me, but it is truly not. I have to understand that and can differentiate that, then it is all right. But now I is there. I am going to analyze my mind. And that mind is nothing but that part which is getting the reflection of the Atman. Now, I am not that. I am pure Atman. Who is thinking?
Mind.
I. So this is the difficult part. I am going to, my mind is in agitation and I cannot control, but I have to help my own mind. Isn't it so difficult? That's why religion is so difficult. If it was somebody coming from outside and helping, it could be so easy. No one can help you from outside, except the personalities like Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada, and like that. Sometimes they could. Otherwise, you have to try yourself. And trying means so many practices are there, physical practices, mental practices, mental tapasya. But my main thing is understanding. That understanding is completely different. So what is the mind? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is trying to give a definition of the mind. It says, Kama, Sankalpa, Vichikitsa, Shraddha, Ashraddha, Driti, Adriti, Hri, Dhi, Bhi, Iti, Etat, Sarvam Mana Eva. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So what is that? First is desire. Wherever the desires are coming, it's the mind. Desire cannot come in the hand. The hand is going and holding, and then taking, and the mouth is, or the tongue is tasting. That is different. But I will eat, that particular thing is coming in the mind. So what is mind? The first is the desire. Then sankalpa, resolution. I am going to do it. I am going to eat. That is first the desire. Then I must eat, and I am going to do in this way. That is the sankalpa. Vichikitsa, doubt is there. Shall I be able to do it? So that is, doubt is also there. And Shraddha, the faith, confidence. Faith means confidence. The confidence, it says again, confidence in the words of the Guru and confidence in the words of the scripture. That's called Shraddha. Ashraddha, without faith. That means both are there. Dhriti means patience. Adhriti, impatience. Ri, modesty. Dhi, intelligence. Bhi means fear, etc. Iti, etat, sarvam is the mind. That means whatever these things are happening, that is the mind. We are going to purify that mind. The mind, it doesn't mean that there is something we can do the operation and can take it out and can purify and then again put it. It's not like that. Had it been, it would be so easy. Then we could go to any doctor, can you please wash my mind? And they'll say, okay. Then they could. It would be so easy. And they can do the heart. They're taking out and then pumping and rectifying, then putting back the heart. They're doing the brain. They can do all parts of the body, but not the mind. Mind is yours. So that's why it says, Urdharit Atmana Atmanam. Na Atma Avashadaya. The different type of challenges the people are facing. And if we can constantly say, I am going to overcome this, it will be all right. Then you become all right. Because constantly you are going on sending the positive thought, positive idea, positive conception. Then one lady came to me with her husband. Coming to America means it's a great thing for. And then after coming over here, she became very angry with the husband. This husband is not trying to get more better job and this, that. That person, what he will do? He will do is try. But the job market is different. Then she came and she was going on complaining and all that. I told, tell me one thing. How many sisters you are having? 3. Are all in America? No. That means you got the opportunity to come to America. For whom? Through this man, isn't it? Suppose you are not married with this gentleman, you could not come over here. And when you go back from here to meet, all the other sisters are also coming. They are also well placed. But even then, all they are coming to you to meet because you are going back from America, right? For whom? Because of this man. And now, you know who is he? He's a professor in physics. So he's a very good person. And he's telling the professor in physics naturally is one place. How can I get other things? Well, we have to wait. I have to see here, you have a beautiful house, isn't it? Yes. You have a car, isn't it? Yes. For whom? Because this man. Still you are not satisfied. Then please note down what will give you the satisfaction. then ultimately you have to go to Reliance because they only can give you all that property and everything. Otherwise, be happy. Who is suffering? You. Why you are suffering? Some idea. What is that idea? I need these, I need that. You will never get it. So you have to be careful and then don't make the whole life and constantly going on doing like this affect you will be affecting your mind of your husband also by that way. Then ultimately it will be a terrible problem. So don't create that. So who is doing it? Mind. Why? Thought. What type of thought? Some imaginative. That is the thing. Not that only the householders are having this problem. We also get that. Suddenly, they asked me to go to Andaman. When I went over there, I saw there is nothing. No food, nothing but 50 hungry boys. In the morning, they will come and say, Swamiji, kya khana kya hai? They in Hindi they used to talk. The Swamiji, where is food? So that is the problem. So slowly. I never complained. I analyzed. So suppose I am not here. I could write back to our headquarters and say, no, it is not possible for me. I will go and I will be some comfortable place. Some other person will go. Some of my brothers will go. If they can do, I can also do. Let me take the challenges and I that way. I'm not praising myself, but I'm telling the practical thing. I started thinking what to do, and then when you are trying, God will also help. One gentleman came, and he was the Indian Airlines, the top boss from Bombay. I told, Swamiji, any help you want? I told, see, when the food is coming from Calcutta, the flight is coming, many foods are coming, not all are used. Those boxes, food boxes, what do? Now we put it down over here. And then fresh new boxes, their food will go from here to Calcutta again. Same way, Bombay, it's called the Madras over there. I told, suppose those boxes you send to me, I don't have any car or anything. That also you have to send to me. That will be a great help for our boys. 50 boys, they will get good food. That is easy. We are simply trashing it, throwing out. So we'll send it. From next day onwards, it's a beautiful food. All our boys started receiving the nice packed food and everything. So they were so happy. So food was this way, things were solved. When the people are coming in Andaman, small place, anybody's house, somebody is celebrating the birthday and this that. I told, instead of inviting me alone, whatever the excess food you will have, send it to here. That will be. They naturally cooked a little extra, and after that way, slowly things were. And afterwards, the present President Maharaj, he was the General Secretary, he went and told one of the best ashrama. Great certificate I got over there. So this is the challenges. This is the situation, and you have to solve it. How? Mind. If you are thinking, oh, it won't be possible, it won't be possible. If you are thinking it is possible, it can be, by the grace of God. Now, this is the mind, the kama, sankalpa, vichikitsa, that means desire, resolution, doubt, faith, without faith, patience, impatience, modesty, intelligence, fear, each and everything. Mind or intelligence does wonderful thing, but still it is not independent. Now one step towards the spirituality. Mind can do many things, but mind is not independent again. If mind was independent, everybody could think in the same way. It is not independent. Why? Because it has a beginning and it has an end. Adi antabatvat. Adi antabat, that is the reason it is not independent. Anything independent means it will be eternal. Because it is not so independent, so it is not eternal. Actually, up to 11, there is a first.
Yeah.
So now it is almost. We started 10 minutes late, and now it is reached. So up to this, and then a little, I think, question answer session, and then again. So we have come up to the mind. So let me give the conclusion of this part. That we have noticed that the main important thing of the whole personality is mind. And why? Because mind can take the decision. How it can take the decision? Because of the intellect. How the intellect is coming? Because of the reflection. And this is, we have to suppose, because our rishis are telling through their experience, because of the reflection of the consciousness. But if you say the prove that consciousness, right, this moment, operation and all, it is not possible, it's not physically. But that consciousness, which is somewhere, which we are calling as God or Atman, is reflecting on the mind, and that is why. And what is happening? I sense, or the ego is coming. What the ego is doing, associating this body and all associated other related things, and creating problem. How it is creating problem? Because we started thinking that everything will be permanent and I will get the permanent joy. That is the main problem. Otherwise, it was all right. The moment we think everything is going to be permanent and it is not permanent, we suffer up to this. So we now know what is that purification of the mind, what happens, and what is this mind. Next, we will discuss after. Any question on this particular thing? Discussion?
Those who are on the line, feel free to ask question, but you have to unmute yourself.
So like, what is the difference between I and mind? So is
I and mind? No, there is no difference.
mind is like
You say mine or mind?
mind like one and I.
Oh, this is the notion that comes. The mind is the notion is I. Otherwise, you are thinking. I am thinking. I am thinking that I should do this. So all the time at the back, that is the I. So that is ego is generating through the mind. Otherwise, the mind is not active at all. If there is no ego, then what will happen? A jellyfish existence. You don't have anything like lying down somewhere. Have you seen the jellyfish? And the jellyfish in the Andaman I saw. It will be just lying there. If wherever you throw, it will be there. So that jellyfish existence, no, it is not. It will be. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, I cannot uproot. You cannot uproot the I because it is there. You just turn it to God. That's all. And truly, it is because of that God which is reflecting within me, which is intelligent, that is intellect, that is coming, and I am feeling like that. Otherwise, it is not. Suppose, in an example, we can say, here is a foolish person, and we are all afraid of him. He comes alone, and we are 100. And he says, hey, why? What you are doing over here? No gathering, go away. One person. And we all go away. We listen to him. Just because of one person? No. At the back, the whole government is there. The foolish person alone is coming, and all we are listening to him because it is not alone or individual person. It's the representative of the government, of the law. That's why. Same way, when I think that, oh, I can think, I am intelligent, I can solve this mathematical problem, I can do this, that. If I say, if the policemen say, oh, I came and then dropped them out. No, we are not afraid of that individual person. We are afraid of the whole, the law that is associated with him. So when we think in that way, as Sri Ramakrishna, try to understand, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you cannot uproot the I, but you can turn it towards God. Now, the foolish man, that example that giving, I am foolish man, so I am telling all people are afraid. It is not. I represent the government, so they are afraid and they are law-abiding people. We say, I represent God, and God has given me intellect, so I am successful. It's okay. So this is the difference. I, only I, individual, that ego will crash you. But that I, that ego, if you associate with God, will uplift you. That is exactly what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said. His words are so simple. You cannot uproot the I, but you can turn it towards God. That's all. Only thing. So that is why someone is very good singer, and they will be so egoistic after some time. I'm a good singer and I won't go there. And then after some time, people will start losing interest in listening to him. What will happen then? He will either commit suicide or go on. So that is why if he thinks because of the God has given me this voice, so people are happy I could sing. That humbleness will give him peace and also all respect. When Swami Vivekananda returned to India, because that was the first time after 700 or 800 years of the Indian subjugation, for the Muslim invasion came 700 years, we can say, or there's there. First time the Indians, they became free. Oh, we are Indian, we can do like that. And they started at saying that Vivekananda ji ki jai. And what Vivekananda said, please don't do that. The one who can make hundreds of Vivekananda out of the dust of this road, please say the glory unto God. So this much only. You must have the intellect, you must prove yourself, but only within yourself you should say, God could give this intellect to anyone, but I am blessed that He has chosen me. This way. Any other question? Indranil? Indranil is small, you can say.
No, Maharaj, not at this point. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
Swami, if I can ask,
Please.
so as Ramakrishna, Bhagavan Ramakrishna said in simple words, you are also telling us in simple words, a lot of meanings behind those things. You mentioned about the chitta, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, 4 elements there.
Yeah.
Any action requires that kind of, when you take any action, those things are behind those elements are behind the actions that we do. Is there a proportion of things that the mind actually decides certain things, and the buddhi says you have to do it or not? So some kind of discrimination, right? And then chitta has some storage behind it. So when you did something in the past, the result was this. So you're taking some library that your chitta is kind of a library.
Correct.
And then ahankara. So I'm just wondering what those 4 elements are always behind any actions you do. But at the same time, is there a relation between the sattva, rajas, tamas, guna that you so I don't know how you combine those things together. At
Very good.
Certain time of the day you take decision in your sattva situation, you probably might be a good action. But in your tamas, you might have some different results of those things.
So what is your name?
Devang Joshi.
That's it. Devang.
Devanga.
Devang. So Devanga, right?
Devanga. Devasya Anga.
So, Mr. Joshi, wonderful question. But just now, the example that I gave, suppose a person is very successful and he thinks, I have done it. And he says, it is me, it is me, it is me all the time. That is tama. That action, he's successful, of course. Just because he is ignorantly telling, I have done it, and that I means associated with the body and so that is ego. The same person, if he says, because of the God's grace, I have been able to do this. That is sattva. Same action, same thing. Because of the understanding that there is someone who has given me this opportunity to do it, and that's why I'm successful. See, the same thing becomes Sattik. Raja, of course, is there. Without Raja, that means the activity will do that. Otherwise, they won't be able to do anything. But the Tama is when he is claiming that it is me. Suppose another example, when the sun is reflecting on the glass, and that reflection is blinding people, and the glass says, see my power, I can blind people like that. It will be Tama. And if they say the sun's reflection is falling on my friend over here, the wall, and the other, the glass wood, but because the God has given me the clearance, it is getting reflection and people are getting this type of result. It is not me, but the God's power reflecting Sattva. So the Sattva, Raja, and Tama, the same thing, only it goes in this way. If you are taking the credit for yourself, which you are not really, that is Tama. If you are taking that credit, but giving the whole thing, the honor to the God, the Sattva. About the other thing like the mana, buddhi, chitta, ahamkara that you were telling, each and every one is having a different part to play. Mana means it gets the idea, but it is a little the teeny type. It can't take the decision. But the buddhi will take the decision. So that much. Of course.
Coffee. It's a coffee. So we can get that.
Mana, buddhi, and chitta, they're just store only. Whatever good or bad, it will be there. Ahamkara is the fire below that is actually boiling the whole water. If the ahamkara is not, so the buddhi and ahamkara are connected again and again and again and again. So they do. These are the parts only. Very interesting if we see through the Vedantic point of view. And when they talk about and try to explain from the scientific way, like that, how our mind is acting, they have also definition of the mind. How the body is, because of some chemicals changes, mind is also getting changes, because of these, because of that. But the Vedanta never goes like that. Vedanta goes straight to the source, where from this is coming. What that is. Are you giving me?
Yeah, we will take a short break now. Tea break. I think running late. It's 11:45. 11:45 Central Time. We will resume the session.
15 minutes later than scheduled, but we are still good for the next break. So
11:45 Central. I'll take a break.
Ahankar is part of.
Let it continue. And while we are drinking, we can just go on chatting, talking.
recording, you want to continue?
A little continue. So that the questions they will also.
Yeah.
Is Ahankar part of Rajasic or Tamasic?
The ahankar is mixed of Raja and Tama.
Then like mind, like non-buddhi, chitta, ahankar, then who is purifying the mind? It's the ego purifying the mind or mind is purifying the mind?
You will be purifying your mind. This is just understanding. Actually, it's not ego. When there is ego, we say use the word ego. That cannot naturally can't work in this way. So obviously, it will be your mind, which is intelligent, which is analyzing. That analyze and it comes in a very positive way. So sometimes something they say and we understand in a different way. So that understanding always depends on the person's intellect. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he went into Samadhi while he was discussing about the Vaishnava, the idea, Jibe Daya. He said the Jibe Daya, the compassion to the other beings. And immediately, the Sri Ramakrishna says, you are a humble person. How can you show the compassion to others? How can you show the compassion to other people? Jive Daya, not no, Jive Daya cannot be. It should be Jive Sheva. Because so many people, they heard it. But, so many people, they heard it. No, they'll be given it. But they didn't take it so seriously. It is only Narendranath, that time 17, 18 years old, young man, did the same work. So many people heard. But Narendranath immediately took it. Oh, wonderful idea. It is not Daya, it is Seva. 2 words only. Daya, I am showing compassion that goes with my ego. Hey, poor man, come over here and take the break. As Seva, I am humble. The God could give everything to that man, but God wants me to go and serve him. So that is the way. If we're taking in this way, completely different. Seva, making you humble. Same action, but it gives you spiritual benefit. Daya, same action, is take you to the hell. And then if we, this is the way.
Is an example also Ramakrishna Paramahansa about the fish in the jar, right? So
Yeah.
some fish come out and some fish stay there because there's
Correct.
no way.
Correct. And that is Jivatma. So if you understand, then you are free. If you don't understand, then you are free.
Question about the reflection.
I'll get
Reflecting
one more
material.
slide.
I mean,
Biscuit.
is a consciousness, reflection of consciousness in the mind.
Yes.
It's a reflection or reflecting material is the concept. I mean, I'm saying that whether the glass is the mind or the what is reflected out of glass is the mind.
You're telling that is the consciousness that we are talking about. Is it a material type? Is it coming? It's not. It's not a material. Everything that we see is nothing but the consciousness, we say in the Vedanta. Everything. That includes even the wood, this wall, the stone, everything is consciousness. It cannot be the matter. When you say everything is there, it cannot be the matter. But that conception of the consciousness, in the way that the Vedanta is telling, it is there, but not in the form of a matter, but we can say is a form of power. Otherwise, how it will be? And how it will be expressed? They say love. They say that all the good qualities that the human being can conceive, it is from there. But feeling of I existing, that is the main thing. The consciousness is there. If it is a matter, then that will never happen. But what happens? Asti iti. Asti, they say in Sanskrit, asti means I am existing, I am there. Example, the nice example they're giving, that the one son came to his father. The father is the teacher. And he was telling the father, can you please show me where is that Atman? From where everything is coming? See, look at it, your question. Whether it is a matter or... So then he said, the father said, bring me that fig. And there was a fig tree, one fig. They brought the fig and break that. It broke. So many tiny little seeds are there in one fig. Hundreds of tiny little seeds are there. Take one seed, then break it. So difficult to break that. Even when they broke, what is there? Nothing. Nothing. there is something from which this huge fig tree is coming. One tiny little seed, apparently you see nothing inside that, but there is something which is helping to grow this huge tree, just that way. Then the son, another story is there. The son is telling, can't you tell me the way you tell that this is a cow, that is a horse, this is a tree, that is a man, and this is an Atman. Can't you say that? Tell me that way. Immediately the father told, you are that. So you cannot express, this is the problem, you cannot express in any term that this is Atman. It is a feeling only, but it is there. Without that, nothing can survive, nothing can remain. So this way only we have to understand. Asti, it is there. How it is reflecting, and your question on the mind, if it is a glass, because I am giving the example of the glass, it is not like that. The mind is conscious, feeling conscious, feeling conscious. The mind means the buddhi, the intellect. Reflection is on mind, reflection on antakarana, reflection on everything. But this particular portion, it is getting that light and feeling I. So that is called important. Otherwise, I won't be there. So what happened after death? As the body is there, all the parts are also there. Mind is not there. If the dead body was having the mind, then he could say, hey, don't keep me over there. If the dead body is talking, then it will be terrible. People will all leave. Dead body only means the mind is not there. Then where the mind goes? And suppose you are sitting over here, we are sitting over here, but I like someone, maybe my grandson, my son, or my daughter somewhere. My mind goes over there. What is actually going? Is a matter or a feeling? So you cannot say it is ether. You cannot say it is wave. You cannot explain in this, but it is there. Suppose I feel, oh, some people, they are crying because the father is sick in India and they cannot move. How can you explain it? We are also, after hearing that, we heard, oh, that gentleman is sick, but nothing is happening to me. I'm so sorry. I will pray, that much. But that lady, because of her father, she is crying. And she was trying to go over there. Physically cannot go, but mentally she's going, presenting over there. So what is that? No one can explain. But the feeling is there. That feeling is that.
Around that time, if she has a dream of the father, where is that dream coming from?
And the dream means that is, you are very strongly imagining something and trying to get something. So it comes through your subconscious mind. Conscious mind cannot reach. Physically, you cannot, but the subconscious mind, that comes back. That is dream. Majority of the time, and most of the time, dream means what you are thinking and what you are expecting, that comes in the form. Vedantin always say the dream world and your awakened world are the same. This is very peculiar. In the waking world that we are all sitting, and the same thing we'll see in the dream, suppose. Same way they are sitting over here, they're like this, I'm talking. And everything will happen. Without there'll be no body. But things will happen. that is exactly what happened after death. When you say, if you are a Shiva Bhakta, you will go to Shiva Loka. If you are a Vishnu Bhakta, you will go to Vishnu Loka. What happened? Just like this. Completely, physically, they will be present. And they will be talking. They'll enjoy their time over there. But this body won't be there. Imaginative body will be there. The Swarga, sometimes we think it is all mithya, it is not. It is not. Those who are liking Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's ideology, after the death, they won't go to any church. Because in the physically, we are not going there. Even if we go, we are not enjoying the company, the discussion, the environment. After the death also, what happened? Mind is there. Only body won't be there. Mind will go to those people who are having that same. So they have also passed away. They are assembled in one place. And they'll say, Dacha, you have also come. Say it like that. Ramakrishna Loka. Loka means that. It is only mind. I have come over here because you love Sri Ramakrishna. Otherwise, I would not have come. Isn't it? So Loka. The same way you have also. Suppose, God forbid, if we die, all of us, the same way we will meet. And after some time, we will say, no, the time is up, I have to go. Now some work is there. So then you will all leave. Same way, we will be in the Sri Ramakrishna Loka, discussing about Sri Ramakrishna, enjoying it. And there will be no coffee, of course, it's not necessary. We'll be very happy. So by that way, but you will feel the pull for your own karma. So someone will come back again to take birth. The people, they say, my father has passed away, what has happened to him? Whatever he liked, he will be there. And he's enjoying that. Don't think that they're suffering. They'll be enjoying that company. Maybe the father used to play the cards and you will have the friends who will be playing cards, enjoying there. After some time, for a long time we are playing, let me go. Again, the pull for his desire to fulfill. Again, he will come and take birth. And how he will take birth, in what form, that depends on his thought. Suppose they are very cruel type of people, they will take birth in that, where his cruelty can be manifested. Suppose they are very good type of people, then they will take the birth in some place where all these good things will be manifested. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Krishna is telling, when the Arjuna asks the question, they said, suppose someone is trying to realize God, but he couldn't realize God. But in the process, he has not enjoyed this world also. Both are gone. He could not enjoy the world, he could not realize the God. It is total waste, isn't it? Then Krishna said, no. Shuchi nam Sri Matam Ge Yoga Brashta Vijayate. Once you are trying to be good, whatever way you are trying, that is not to be destroyed. That will be there. And that will give you the next. And you will take birth in a very nice place where you can develop your spirituality. So nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted.
Even going in the Ramakrishna law because of my love and devotion to Sri Ramakrishna,
Yes.
I still have to come back.
You have to come back because, not because of the Ramakrishna Loka, because other desires are there in the subconscious mind. Like you have come here, but at the time of going, you have to purchase something, you have to meet somebody, you have to some other things, some jobs are there. So similarly, after completing this, you are going to attain those work. When the body is not there, mind is there, exactly same thing happen, only they take a body to perform that. Without body, you cannot do that. That is the thing. And human body is the most precious. Sometimes truly we see some people are suffering and we also feel, we pray for them, that's true. But there must be a cause. Without cause, no action will come. What is that cause? Some bad work they have performed in their life. The people don't like to believe it. No, why should it? That is the out of emotion. But if you go according to the analysis, without cause, there cannot be any effect. This is accident. Oh, just an accident. Accident is also a cause. Then if you are driving and texting, that is the cause.
When would my mukti would come? If you just said that I had some subconscious mind, I have good desires, and then I would come back.
For that, when there is no what's called desire in the mind, there's no desire. You're completely free. Then you are free.
So no desire even to go to Ramakrishna Loka. Like
No desire even to go to Ramakrishna
no
Loka.
lokas.
No locals. Only that idea, I am the consciousness. So why should I have to go over there and there? Nothing like that. That is called mukti. That is called. Otherwise, it is called krama mukti. Krama mukti means, and usually, slowly, you will go like that.
Sorry, you mentioned about the Brihad Upanishad, the definition of mind, and you talked about these qualities of mind by defining the mind, how the mind would be, and you have all the dvandvas there, and V also, the buddhi and the bhai. Is that all about the mind? Mind is always in sanshay all the time. Is this how it is defined in Brihad Upanishad? Like there are qualities you talked about of mind. There are dvandvas, right? In the definition that I saw. Is it always in the sunshine kind of mode every time the morning? Is it how it's defined?
No. Samshaya is one of the activity of the mind. Samshaya. But mind is also taking the decision, taking all these things. This is one of the, This is one of the activity of the mind, samshaya. The doubt, all these things. Sometimes some people are very much that having the doubt. That is the problem. There's some people constantly, the doubting Thomas, they will say, they cannot. Constantly, for everything, they'll be doubting. That is their characteristics. But somewhere it has developed, they cannot overcome that. So this is also a mental disease. Sometimes we say we have to, the normal way you have to think. It always happens like this. You should not take that so seriously. So in the life, when we are growing up, the brothers and sisters together, father, mother, and so whole family, particularly in our country, the big families, they are growing up. We never knew what is going to happen. Then one after another, the opportunities, things are happening, and you are going out, isn't it? So do you think it is all just accident? No. It is all connected. Everything is connected. This is the thing. That's why the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he saw someone, he said, hey, he was in that group of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So all they are connected. They have come on Master Mahasaya. He was so humble, though so intelligent, so educated in those days, but very humble. To help the Ramakrishna mission, he used to work 3 different schools. In those days, it was allowed. So he used to work in 3 different schools. One school salary used to give to his wife. Another school salary used to give to Ma Sharadamani Devi. Another school salary used to give to the young boys, the Swami Vivekananda and others. But no one knew that he is working so hard. He used to work very hard only to get some money. In those days, teacher's salary was very little. So whatever little money, so he used to have the three. The one first for family, so he used to give to the wife, so you maintain. And then these two. So where from this mind came? And there are some rich people who could afford, no, why the same, all these are connected, Suppose now I am meeting you people. I never thought that I will ever meet you. But we are thinking, oh, just because I have come over a meeting, nothing like that. It's all predestined. Everything is predestined. So if you understand that, then humbleness comes. So it goes through prayer to that supreme God. And the supreme God is because we do not know where he is everywhere. But if you go and see one image, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, it gets concentrated. Again, Sri Ramakrishna, they've told, if you go and touch any place of the Ganga, any part, you need not to go right from the Sagardeep to Himalaya to touch the Ganga. Any part of the Ganga touching, you're touching the Ganga. But if you go to the source of Ganga in the Gomukh, that is a different place and different environment. Similarly, if you go to the avatar, any place, any person you go, all are gods only. But if you go to the avatar, manifestation of that divinity is much more. That way. So shall you start again?
Yes, Maharaj.
So you can.
So those who are on the line, the question and answer session just continued. Master didn't take any break at all. So we're going to continue the section 2 now. Then we'll go.
Thank you, Mohan.
Yeah, 2 is about importance of the purification of mind.
That's the second part.
From 11:30 to that's okay.
So it's already.
But it was
We'll go.
it was there's the question session was going on. Very wonderful questions,
Yes.
all related with the same topic. Now we know the mind. The different type of thoughts are coming in the mind, and the mind is as because it has a beginning and has an end. So obviously this is not permanent. This particular mind that we are thinking, it is not permanent. The reflection of the pure consciousness on the buddhi, that is intellect, generate I sense. This egoism is called jiva. The definitions we are going on giving to understand the jiva and shiva. These are the two words very closely all the time they uses. What is jiva? Jiva means the egoism that is there within us. That's called jiva. Each and every being, all the animals and the birds, and very highly manifested in the human being, this jiva, this I sense. This jiva carries on all the activities on the relative plane. This jiva experiences through desire and good and evil. Now, what is this jiva? Now, going on giving this example, that it carries all the activities. And this jiva, that means the ego, is experiencing sometimes happiness and sometimes misery. This jiva again takes birth in different bodies. The same mind, same I, same ahankara, it goes on taking different bodies. This condition is known as knowledge sit, or the Vijnanamaya kosha. This experience waking and dreaming, etc. Jagrat, Sapna, Shushupti. Friends, now from the mind, now we are entering into another bigger realm. And that says everything that is happening in our mind, in our life, including rebirth, is because of this ego. This ego is constantly accumulating all that, and according to as we were just out of the discussion, that we were giving the example, whatever is there in the mind, accordingly we travel. We go to those places and those people whom we like. So that why? Because we liked. That impression takes us there. So similarly, it gives us Jagrat, Shapna, and Shushupti experience also. Jagrat, we know when the body and the mind and consciousness, these three are present. Shapna, we know when the mind and consciousness is present, body is not there. And Shushupti, when the body and the mind is not there, only consciousness is there. So this, see, I am not telling that somebody said, and this is all experience. Every day, every individual we are having. If we are aware of it, we'll understand. So when the mind is purified, then the jiva realizes Atman and becomes the Atman itself. Now, our goal is to go to the source. What is that source? This is the Atman. Now, why we can't go over there? Because the impurity. What is the impurity? The wrong conception. What is the wrong conception? Seeing and thinking this temporary thing as permanent, including my body and my mind also. This all temporary. So we have to go to the Atman, which is permanent. As just now there's a question was there, what is that Atman? How we will know how it is acting? It is either the reflection of some light or some thought wave, and what is this? It has been, they could say that only thing about the Atman or the Brahman could be said that it is existing, that's all. It is an experience of existence, that's all. Here again, I will quote from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and he's saying, asking, Katam Atma iti, he is asking the question, what is this Atman? And giving the reply, Yo ayam Vijnanamaya Praneshu Hridi Antarjati Purusha. See, once again, the same thing they're telling. Yo means that infinite entity which is reflected in the intellect, which is amid the organs, and which is the self-effulgent light within the intellect. So that is called the Atman. Now, in the Yoga Vasishta, he is also giving some example. I will read from the Yoga Vasishta. So what we learned from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it says that which is giving us the idea of existence. Anything that is giving us the idea of existence, I am, that is Atman. I think this is clear, because when the dead body, what is the difference between a living and the dead body? The dead body cannot feel I am, but a living body can feel I am. Otherwise, when you judge the body, it is all same. Now, this feeling of I am, this is according to Brihadaranyaka. I was just quoting from the Vasishta Deva, he is telling to Ramachandra. He is telling, Yena Shabdam, Rasham, Rupam, Gandham, Janasi, Raghava, Tam Atmanam, Parabrahmam, Janihi, Parameshwara. Same thing, in a different way, he is mentioning, O Rama, that by which you become aware of the object of sound, taste, form, smell, and touch. No, that is the self, that is the Atman. And very clearly is mentioning that we are feeling, the moment we took some food, we felt the taste. Who felt the taste? The tongue? No. Because if the tongue is taking the taste or understanding the taste, then the dead body's tongue also could taste it. The smell, the fragrance, who is understanding? The nose? No. So all the indriyas that we are having, they are not tasting, they are not experiencing. Who is experiencing? This is really the very vital question. That which is experiencing through the nose, through the eye, through the tongue, through the touch, that consciousness is Atma. Otherwise, there is no other way to explain what is Atman. So this is the Atman. The Yuga Vasishta also mentioning like this. We have now workable knowledge about Atman. Why? Because it is very difficult to explain the Atman. There are some concept about Atman. What is that Atman? Something which is helping us to experience. Now I am talking with the power of what? Atman. Suppose I'm talking with the help of the tongue and the two lips, they will say. That this will be there when I'm not leaving. Why then the dead bodies cannot talk? Because of that consciousness. That is called Atman. Now we now know what is mind. That is also saying the mind which is having some idea with the help of the Atman. The mind is taking decision, mind is confused, mind is this, mind is that, with the help of the Atman, otherwise not. We also know the cause of suffering. Now we have to go beyond that. What is the cause of suffering? Mistaking the reflection of the Atman on the Buddhi as real. And this is the cause of suffering. As the Lord Buddha said, this whole world is full of misery. Jagat dukkhamaya. Dukkham, dukkham, sarvam dukkham. Lord Buddha said everything. So why? Because this is the cause of suffering. And what is the cause? Desire. If you don't have the desire, there is no suffering. We can give the example. Sometimes I give the example so that you can understand. Suppose a gentleman who was the president of America a few days before, somewhere 1 year before. Now, though he was the president of America one time, 4 years, he enjoyed, still he is in dukkha. Constantly he is suffering. Though he is having sufficient money, sufficient respect, and everything which other people cannot think of, even then he is suffering. Why? Because he is thinking, I am not having that position, that post. So who is suffering? That particular person, say A. Why is suffering? The thought. What is that thought? Association of something which he wanted permanently. Otherwise, there is no problem. Otherwise, he could really enjoy. Think of it. So simple. That's why sometimes the rulers, they want to be permanent. In some of the countries, they have made the rule that there will be no election, nothing like that. It will be permanent. But can he be permanent all through? No. Because after some time, something will happen. He will be in the hospital and he will die and he will hang as maybe he will be hanging somewhere as just a picture. But why they are suffering, each and every one of them? Because only one wrong conception, I should be permanent. You can, if you go to many of you must have noticed, in China, the king, they wanted to be permanent. And how to, after the death, they wanted all those things which they liked should go along with them. Even the horse he liked, and the servants that he liked, and the wives they liked, and the food they liked, the drinks they liked, everything should go. Now, if the king is liking someone while leaving, he should have to be, oh my God, what will happen to me after death? So because they are all young people, the king is old and king will die soon and all they will be killed and putting on that. Why? Conception, the wrong conception. He could have never understood that after the body is not there, nothing is going to happen, the mind. So this way only, now we know the suffering is nothing but the thought. It's not the body, it's the mind. And in the mind, some of the ideas, the thought. So we have heard the procedure to go beyond this avidya. Avidya means knee science, wrong science. They are also giving some example. They're also thinking this should be done, that should be done. But it's all avidya. So we have to understand this false knowledge, and then immediately we'll be going beyond this. Now the question is, has anyone ever crossed this hurdle? That this is a very, now we are giving some ideas, but whether it has already been really practiced. Now many of the scientists, they will get Nobel Prize just giving the idea. It has not been practiced. It is not possible. Just some idea they will give and then they will get the Nobel Prize. Afterwards, if it is not practical, people will forget, but he got the Nobel Prize. Sometimes some, what's called that economist, they say if you give money in this way, spend in this way, then these are all they will nicely present and they will get the wonderful, that huge amount and certificate and all that. Maybe that it is not practicable. Nowhere. But Vedanta is not like that. They will accept only those ideas where if it has been practiced by some people, and then only, not only one person, many, then only they will, oh, it is already tested. Well, that is called Jivana Mukta condition, or the sadhu, sant, etc., etc. So they will say, yes, these people, they are living. Then the question is how we will understand that they are living there. But you say there are people who are beyond this type of problem. Their mind is completely pure. They are not suffering at all. Are they there? Yes, it is there. How I will know them? The holy company, they say, as a holy person, they say, how to understand that person is holy. So sometimes I say, the majority of the monks, the Indian monks and others, they will grow beard. As if without beard, the monk cannot be like that. So sometimes long beard and these, that, then turban and all that. It is not necessary. Nothing is necessary. It's only some qualities. Then here it gives Guru Vashishta again in the Yuga Vashishta. The Rama asking Sri Ramchandra. Rama was 13, 14 years old, and he was going on asking so many questions. The sad, you said that the people can be like this. Are they in this society they are living? Well, yes. How I will know that they are there? Then Guru is telling, Lobha, Moha, Rusham Yashya, Tunutanu Dinam Bhavet, Yatha Shastra Biharati, Sa Karmoshu, Sa Sajjana. And one person, a monk, came to Ma Saradamani Devi and they told, Mother, I don't know whether we are spiritually developing or not. What will happen after the God realization? Ma Saradamani Devi, immediately she replied, Baba, after the God realization, do you think you will grow two horns? You will be just like this only. Nothing is going to change. After the God realization, people, they always imagine there will be light emanating from his body, and this is happening, that is happening. They imagine only, nothing like that. Yogis, sometimes they can do, but the main thing is the characters, their behaviors, their thoughts. They say greed, delusion, anger, reduces. The three things: greed, delusion, and anger. Greed means lower. Will go on. Sometimes the gross, I want this, I want that. And sometimes subtle appreciation. Everywhere my photo should be there. Everywhere people should talk about me. Everywhere this thing. That is also greed. And if that greed is there, that means for sure he has not realized God. And moha means delusion. Delusion is sometimes some people, if they're talking that you should do this, you should do that, then sometimes, the society to where they are in trouble, they cannot solve the problem, they will come to the monks. Swamiji, you become the chief minister, you can do this and all that. And sometimes some people, out of delusion, they will think, why not? Let me become chief minister or prime minister, and we will solve all the problems. That is also delusion. So one should be very, very careful. There should not be any delusion. Friends, don't think that I'm just from the experience I'm telling. In Andaman, as I was telling, there was no money. So poor we were. Next day morning, what we will eat, we were not knowing. So every day, when I was going from Calcutta to Andaman, the three Swamis, they gave me 1,000, 3,000 total. That was my pocket money. And from there, every day, I used to spend 10 rupee and to purchase some muri and chanachur and all that for the breakfast. And every day has to count, 3,000 only, but every day has to count how much is there. Because now I know that what is that? Terrible condition. Then one gentleman, he gave me 3 boxes, big box. Suddenly, a car came and his people came and they told Swamiji, can you please keep these 3 boxes under your cot? And under my cot. Because under bed was there. And you know that in India, that wooden bed, you can have the space below. So you just keep it for 2-3 nights. Then we will take back 2 and 1 bag will be here. But what is there? So why you are asking me to keep it? Then he told that the so and so has asked us to. I knew that he was a big officer and some cases was going against him because of misappropriation of money and all that. And I read in the newspaper, local newspaper, that from Delhi, a group of people have come to all this. When I told, please open it, I like to see what is there. If the clothes and all these things, okay. But then our boys, they were not allowing, but our boys, they opened it. You won't believe so much of money. The $1,000 bills everywhere, 1,000 rupee. And they told, if you keep it, you need not to go for begging for donation. This is delusion. I could accept that. Nothing would have happened. No one could come to us. And truly, that 1 box could give us a huge lot of money. And whatever I was planning, everything could be done. But I told, no, sir, it is not possible. You have to take it back. Or otherwise, I'm going to throw it on the street. Whether he says and whatever, I am not going to accept it. I forced them to take. But they gave to another temple nearby. But anyway, that is their business, whether they accept it or not. Delusion is this. Sometimes we think in the name of God, we can accept this. One of the great teachers and the people they like, and I'm not naming that, she said that I don't see the color of the money. I just see the money for the betterment of the poor people. Apparently, it's a beautiful sentence, but whom you are supporting? If you are accepting the money that has been earned in a wrong way, are you not indirectly supporting that person? But this is called delusion. Vedanta Society started in 1894 when Swami Vivekananda came here in New York. And look at our ashramas, all are very humble. Somehow we are surviving. Other people afterwards, they came and so much of money they are having. Why we could not do it? Because no delusion. nothing wrong. We are not going to accept it in that way. So this, it's very, very important. How you will know that this is a religious person, a holy person? Mostly we go and see the glamour and then we say, oh, it's very great. No. First thing is, there is no greed. Second is, no delusion. We are going to God, and God is pure. And for that, we cannot take any wrong thing. Third, there's no anger. If other people are doing it, let them do. I'm not angry. Hey, they are all doing wrong thing. We are only pure. And see, nothing like that. Okay, that is their business. No anger. Can you imagine? So how perfectly Guru Vasishta he is giving. How to understand that someone is a real good person? We are mostly confused. We go according to the advertisement. The one person was telling, says, so and so is so nice person. He is highly spiritual. But then I told, why then so much of advertisement in the TV, newspaper, TV? And it's so costly. In America, if you give the advertisement, can you imagine? In the dollar you are paying. And for 2-3 minutes, they are showing he is sitting, putting his leg in the water, and fishes are coming, and then birds are flying. Why you have to show all those things? That means that he is a holy saint, then the birds also can fly, and the fishes are there. That doesn't mean holiness. And you need not to show that. But I told, oh, you believe in, yes, Swamiji, these, no problem, continue. So no problem. But I won't go. So this is very clear. Friends, why I'm telling this, these are all the small words, but this is so important to understand who is a holy person. Sometimes people will go for a monk without shoe, bare foot, and never cut the nails. And oh, see, look at that. So austere person. Any poor person is like that. It doesn't mean that is a holy person. There's nothing outside. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, you need not to give any signboard that you are a holy person. There's sometimes when we were there, we forgot to for saving, so, and then going with because if you're wearing the shirt means you have to wash it yourself. So if you are not using the shirt, that is good. The only chadar they used to take, and Atmastananda Ji Maharaj used to say, oh, look at that holy man going with the signboard that he is a holy person. Because Atmastananda Ji was our assistant general secretary in those days, used to look after us. He said, never ever show like this. Be just normal. Don't show anything outside. Afterwards, when you are reading the scripture, we come to know Lobha, Moha, Rusham, Yasya, Tanutanu Dinam Bhavit. Not that he has already completed. Slowly, every day it is going away. Yatha Shastra Viharati. What is a Shastra? Now, as a monk, we have something. We have taken the promises. We will behave like this. As a householder, you people have also taken the oath that you will live like that. Yatha Shastra Viharati, Sa Karmashu, and performing the one's own duty perfectly. Sa Sajjana. Sajjana means the holy person is he. I am a monk. I am supposed to live alone. I am supposed to live in that way. I don't need any bank balance. I don't need any these or that. The householder should not do that. Should have that bank balance. Should have all the whatever responsibility. Must follow that. This is a sakarmasu because it is the sadharma. But you are not cheating anyone or deceiving anyone. By that way, you are living. Swakarmasu, your own duty, you're performing perfectly. Sajjana. 3 things are very important. First, no lobha, no greed, no delusion, and no anger. And then you are very careful about your own responsibility and duty. And within your heart, you are satisfied. No, I didn't do anything wrong. What is there if I am not a monk? And what is my responsibility? I am performing. That satisfaction should be there. That is called sadhana. Shankaracharya is also giving the definition. This is important because until we are clear about this idea, then we won't know actually where we are going. The Shankaracharya is telling, he is asking a question and giving the reply. Ke santi santa, who is a holy person? Ke santi santa. Now he is telling again, only three. Akhila Bita Raga. Raga means desire, completely free from desire. Here the Vashishta also told the same thing. Lova, the greed, moha, and anger. He said, Akhila Bita Raga, the completely free from desire, apasto moha, and there is no delusion. In spiritual life, the one thing is very, very important to have the clear idea about the spirituality. Or otherwise, it creates problem, completely free from all this confusion about religion. Then, when we were in Cherrapunji, that the one Swami, he was here in America and passed away, and we were brahmacharis. So we went to a teacher's house. He invited us, and the teacher's wife, she was telling Swamiji, you know that I see light when I meditate. We were young. This first we joined, so we were excited. Is it? When we meditate, we don't see any light. But look at it. She sees the light, and we were inquiring. So where, how you see, what type of light, what happened, and she was going on telling that the Swami afterwards told. All this time she was eating. When after completing, he said, where do you sit for meditation? She said that this is the bed, so on this bed I sit. To which side you look, then he showed that this is there. When do you see the light? Then when there is a program in the temple, in a shrine, and on the top of the shrine there is a light. And when on the special day, puja days, the light will, otherwise it won't work. So this is the light. Okay. And after 2-3 days, there is another program. You please sit and see whether you see the light or not. That day, he asked us not to put on the light. And we inquired, and we found she didn't see the light. So you know that in Cherrapunji, because of the too much of rain, all there are tin shade. So there was a small hole. From that hole, the light used to come, and the lady was so happy that every function program there, she is seeing the light. This is religion. And if you say something like that, people are very happy. Then one lady came before me here in Chicago. She told, see, I'm a meditation practitioner. Meditation practitioner is very good. Then what you're doing? No, I have already reached to that Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Then what shall I do next? I told you have already completed Nirvikalpa Samadhi. After that, nothing has been written. I don't know what you will do. Maybe you can start again from the beginning, the breathing and all those exercises. That is called delusion. And spiritual life, if we have that type of delusion, that means you can never make the progress. Very simple. Religion is a process that makes a brute unto man, man unto God. And what is God? God is full of love and unselfishness, nothing else. The God is raising the left hand, is having these and right hand. All that may happen. That is, main thing is love and unselfishness. So that's why Shiva Tattva Nishta, the Shankara is also giving 3. So what is first? Akhila Bhita Raga, Apasta Moha, no delusion. Shiva Tattva Nishtha. What is the Shiva Tattva? 2 are negative. 1 is positive. What is that positiveness? As the Vashishta said, Yatha Shastra Biharati. Here Shankara said, Shiva Tattva Nishtha. Shiva Tattva means always the mind is in God. And the God means auspiciousness. Ma Sharadamani Devi said about the spiritual austerity, what is sadhana? This is sadhana. Sadhana is nothing but keeping the mind at the feet of God. That much. Somehow you have to keep the mind in the God. Sometimes you are singing the song and just the meaning of those songs are in your mind. That is also sadhana. You are forgetting everything. Sometimes you are imagining that you are going and bathing in the Ganga, then taking the small container of Ganga water, coming and pouring on the head of the Shiva in Benares, Kashi. You are having the Kashi Darshan. Not that physically you have to go. Mentally also, every day you can visit all these holy places. Only some pictures if you see, then imagine, then most of the Swamis, the sadhus, early morning they will take a dip and then a little the container of water, they will Om Shiva, they will come, they will pour the water on the Shiva. You can do that. And by that way it is called sadhana. Why? Other thoughts are not crossing your mind. You are there in the holy place. So this is the way Shiva Tattva Nishtha. Somehow you have to keep the mind at the feet of that God. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave the example, whose mind, mon, pran, antaratma, that means the whole personality, only thinking about God, that is a holy person. And why we are talking about holy person? We should talk about the Atman. But here is a very wonderfully, Devarshi Narad, he is mentioning Tasmin Tajjane Bheda Abhavat. Tasmin Tajjane Bheda Abhavat. Abhava, there is nothing difference between God and the holy man. That is the reason. And holy person, we can see, we can go, we can talk. But the conception of God that is there, we cannot do. That's why we should take the help of the holy people. Seeing him, we should learn. That is why it is so important. Then there remains no difference between God and the God-realized person. In the Vedanta, another terminology says, Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. The one has realized Brahman, he is Brahman himself. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, again, he said, those who have seen the avatar have seen the God. Jesus also said, he who has seen the Son has seen the Father. Does it mean the God is also like Jesus? No, the quality of the Jesus. Does it mean the avatar Sri Ramakrishna and the God looks like Sri Ramakrishna? No, the quality of the Sri Ramakrishna. That's why again, that's Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning Nam Rupa. Constantly you should think of Nama and the Rupa of God. Nama, Rupa, and the Guna. The form of God means some form. Nama is name, and the quality of that. If you can go on thinking of the quality, then only you can realize that particular quality, otherwise not. The God is nothing but quality. From Chit is the consciousness. Two targets are coming down, two things are coming down. What is that? Brahma and Jagat. The Brahman and the Jagat, these are the two things from the same Chit, from the same consciousness. And here in the Drigdrishya Viveka, it very nicely mentioned, Asti Bhati Priyam Rupam Nama Chetangsha Panchakam. The the 5 things have come out from the consciousness. First 3, Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam. The first 3 are the Brahman. Jagad Rupam Tata Dayam. The last 2 are the Jagat. The 2 things are there. One is Brahman, another is Jagat. And there is nothing much. And where from it has come? Both the Jagat and the Brahman has come from the consciousness. Now, how you will know that this is the Brahman? He says, Asti Bhati Priyam. That means existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. This is a Brahman. And what is that Jagat? This Nama Rupa. So really unique. That this Jagat with so many things, here they mention only Nama and Rupa. Anything else is there? Nothing. The Nama Rupa means Jagat. Anything that you find, there is a name and a form. Any name and any form is nothing but the Jagat. Now the consciousness is coming Brahman, from the consciousness coming the world. What is that Brahman? It is eternal joy and liberation. And what is the world? Constant suffering. Same thing, from that 2 things are coming out. If you go to the Brahman, eternal joy. If you go to the Jagat, this is the world, constant suffering. The Bhagavad also gives 2 pictures. One is Satya Yuga and Kali Yuga. From Bhagavad, if you find that they are mentioning the 2 pictures they are giving. One is Satya Yuga and Kali Yuga. Dharpara, Treta, this is also there. But 2 extreme. One is Satya is the first and the last is the Kali. How you will know that? Yuga means time. So why the Satya Yuga is so good? We always think about Satya Yuga. And why this time is so bad? Again it says, in the Satya Yuga, austerity, purity, compassion, and truthfulness are 4 pillars. Tapa, Shaucham, Daya, Satyam. Iti Pada Krite Kritaha. Krite Krita means Satya Yuga. Kali Yuga, again 4. Dutam, Panam, Striya, Suna, Yatra Adharma Chaturvidha. There are also 4. But what is that? First is gambling. Second is drinking. Third is lust. And 4th is killing innocent people. Suna, killing innocent people. These are the characteristics of the Kali Yuga. So what we find, it is only the qualities that differs. The Satya Yuga, only few qualities. Time the same. There will be, sun will be rising in the east and the morning will be there. The whole day will be Satya Yuga same. Kali Yuga also sun is rising in the east. Same. Then why Satya Yuga and Kali Yuga different? Only the qualities. So friends, what we are supposed to develop, good qualities. So this is the main conception. Now our goal is to purify the mind. That we will do, purifying the mind. But do you like to keep up the time?
We are on time now.
Yeah, yes. Now 11:30 to 12:15. So this will be
15 minutes late, right? So 12:30 is fine.
yes. So there will be short break and the question answer.
Question and the lunch break. So
This is 12:30 now.
yeah, you can start.
Those who are on the line, if you have any questions, you can ask now. Audience here, please feel free.
Maharaj, I have a small question.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Nama and Rupa. What about Vyavahar?
No. Now it comes in the Nama Rupa.
Okay.
That is how to recognize the 3, that is Brahman. There is no Nama Rupa or anything, but the good qualities are there. But here, only Nama and Rupa. Of course, it comes. Rupa means Vyavahar is also there. That is a.
Maharaj, I have a question.
Hmm.
You mentioned about the delusion.
Delusion.
The delusion and miracle is the same.
Oh no. The miracle is that something which is not supposed to happen, it is happening. And delusion is a conception of wrong conception about the truth. That is called delusion. Suppose that I told the one lady saint, she is known as saint. She is thinking, I need money to serve the poor. If someone, some dacoits have killed some innocent people and brought the money and gave it to me, I don't bother about that part. I only take that money and again help the poor. It's a wrong conception, isn't it? She is thinking helping the people is the main thing. How the money is coming or support is coming, this is delusion, this is wrong conception. Indirectly, if you are supporting those dacoits, those cruel people, we should not do that.
Sometimes I have problem if I listen too many miracles somewhere. I feel personally, I feel skeptical of that. So is it the right approach or wrong?
No. A miracle may happen because if the God is all powerful, then miracle may happen. And most of the time, the miraculous stories that we listen in the most of the religion, that is to create interest among the people. Then I will tell you 2-3 things about the Ramachandra. He is also the embodiment of the Vishnu. Rama is also the avatar, the great avatar. But you will never find any miracle in Ramachandra. Rather, other people are doing something afterwards that they made that Rama name was written on those blocks of stone and they were floating. But in original Ramayana, they never mention like that. They say they made a bridge and Rama went over there. But these people feel telling like that. But in Ramayana, you'll never find that. But in the Krishna, the Lord was showing some miracle. Why? In Ramayana, Rama never claimed that he is a holy person. Only he wanted to give a shape in the society. The brothers should behave like this, and husband-wife relation should be like this, and the king and the subject should be like this. Whole society should be formed like this. So that was the Rama. He came only that purpose. Krishna, afterwards when he came, he wanted to bring the conception that even in the human form, God can be. But people never believed. So he was going on showing miracles. In Krishna's life, a lot of miracles. Lifting the heel by the finger. And the story says that they were worshipping that Indra. Why, Father, you are worshipping Indra? Because then only we will get the rain. Then in that case, this hill, rain is coming because of the high hill, and so many rivers are there, and our cattle can go for food. So we will better worship this hill. And if anything happen, I will see. So Krishna then lifted that Govardhana Pahad, etc., etc. And he was the small little boy. He was going and killing the terrible wrestlers of the Kamsa. Why he was doing? Only to bring down this idea into the hearts of the people that God can be in a human form. At the time of Rama, he never bothered about that. But at the time of Krishna, it was necessary. At the time of Sri Ramakrishna, it was not necessary. Why? People, they have already understood, if the God is all powerful, God can take the human form. Look at our Jesus. Jesus had to show a lot of miracles. Why? Because those people, they were not ready to accept that he is the Son of God. So he was walking on the water. He was feeding the multitudes with only small bread. So all those things, and calling back the dead to life, all the Jesus they were showing, miracles was necessary. For Sri Ramakrishna, it was not necessary. It was not at all. Rather, people's mind that time already advanced. They understood what is necessary is to understand the true religion. That is, this thing is all temporary. Don't give much attention to all this and don't boost up your ego for that. Rather, wind up and go back to the original consciousness, which is nothing but love and unselfishness. So the different time it is changing. The most of the time, ordinary people, they are very attracted to the miracles. Americans, they are very fond of the Kali, yoga. Not that they like it, because if you perform the Kali Puja, you get the Shakti. What type of Shakti you want? All Shaktis are now available. Now I'm talking over here. These people sitting so far, they are not only listening, they are seeing me also. The 50, 100 years before, it would have been a great miraculous power, isn't it? And now everyone, even the ordinary person also, Swamiji, can I call you in Zoom? No, the Zoom is now so. So miracle has become so natural, normal. So the miracle is not the main thing. Main thing is the knowledge. Okay. So we'll go for the lunch.
Yes, yes. Those who are for the lunch, we'll take a break now. So instead of 1:30 back, we'll be back at 1:45. Okay, 1:45 we'll be back here. And then I'll close the session for now. And then
Thank you. Pranam Maharaj.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you. Pranam.
Okay.
প্রণাম মহারাজ
Amrita কি খাবে আজকে?
এখন বানাইনি মহারাজ একটু খিচুড়ি আছে ওটা ওটাই বোধহয় খাবো
যা একই কথা আজকে অবশ্য বৃষ্টি বৃষ্টি আছে খিচুড়িটা ভালোই হবে
এখানে স্নো হচ্ছে
এখানে স্নো হচ্ছে পুরো
ও স্নো হচ্ছে এখানে স্নো হচ্ছে কি
not yet.
নো এখানে স্নো হচ্ছে না একটু একটু জাস্ট ড্রিজলিং
For Catholics, they do, if you do not perform a miracle, then you cannot be a saint.
See? This is called delusion, wrong conception. So if you are working, whole life is you are good, then you are a saint. But after the death, you have to show 3 miracles.
Yeah.
And for that, they are taking the help of falsehood. I have seen in Calcutta, one lady, she came and declared that I was having the cancer and the cancer has been cured because of that lady, that Mataji Amto. Then when that was published in the newspaper, immediately, because